You talk to your kids gently. You give them time to calm down when they're upset. You try to stay patient, even on the hard days. You think you're building calm, grounded kids. At least that is what you think. Because some of the most well meaning things parents do every single day are quietly teaching kids the opposite of calm, and almost nobody notices it happening. Researchers who study emotional regulation in early childhood have found that a child's nervous system baseline, how quickly they spike into stress and how easily they return to calm, is shaped far more by daily micro moments than by any single big talk or lecture. Every rushed morning, every tense car ride, every hurry up gets recorded in that baby's growing brain long before they have the words to explain it. And your child cannot tell you this is happening. They cannot say, my nervous system is learning to run hot. They just live it, and their body carries it forward. So today, we're going through 5 things that quietly shape whether your child grows up calm or reactive. Stay until number 2, because that's the one almost every parent gets backwards. 5. Rushing them through transitions. You're running late. You need shoes on, coat zipped, the car loaded now. So you move fast, talk fast, and physically hurry your child along, snapping them out of whatever they were doing. This looks harmless. It is not. Researchers call this transition stress, the friction a child feels when their internal pace gets overridden by an adult's urgency. Kids, especially young ones, live in a slower internal rhythm than adults. When that rhythm gets constantly yanked forward, their body doesn't experience it as we're just leaving the house. It experiences it as low-grade emergency, over and over, several times a day. Over time, a child whose transitions are almost always rushed starts to run on a slightly elevated baseline, quicker to snap, slower to settle. The fix isn't perfection. It's building in a 30-second warning before transitions. 2 more minutes, then shoes. So their nervous system gets a runway instead of a jolt. 4. Trying to talk them down mid-meltdown. Your child is mid-tantrum and you kneel down and start explaining. You're okay, it's not a big deal, let's use our words. Calm voice, reasonable words, right in the middle of the storm. It feels like the right move. Often, it backfires. Child development researchers describe this as attempting top-down regulation during a bottom-up state, essentially asking a child's logical brain to take the wheel while their emotional brain is still fully in control. During a genuine meltdown, a child's higher reasoning is temporarily offline. Words, no matter how gentle, often can't reach them yet. What actually helps first is presence without persuasion, staying close, keeping your own voice and body calm without needing them to get it yet. The talking can come after, once their body has come back down. Trying to reason first often just extends the meltdown because you're asking a part of their brain that isn't listening yet to listen. 3. Praising them for being so good when they're quiet and compliant. Your child sits still, doesn't complain, doesn't make a fuss, and you tell them you're being so good right now. It feels like positive reinforcement. It feels like exactly what a calm kid should hear. But listen closely to what's actually being rewarded. Researchers who study child temperament call this compliance-based praise, and it quietly teaches a child that good means quiet, small, and undisturbing to the adults around them, rather than good meaning regulated or at peace. A child can look perfectly calm on the outside while suppressing real discomfort underneath. And if that suppression keeps getting praised, they learn to hide what they feel instead of learning to move through it. That's not calm. That's a lid on a pot that's still simmering underneath. The fix is shifting what you praise. Instead of "you're being so good," try naming what's actually happening in their body. "You're staying so steady right now." Or simply noticing out loud when they work through something hard, rather than when they just stay quiet. That teaches real regulation instead of quiet compliance. 2. This is the one almost every parent gets backwards. You believe your job is to keep your child calm, so the moment they get upset, you jump in fast, distract them, fix the problem, remove the frustration, anything to stop the feeling before it builds. Here's what's actually happening underneath that instinct. Researchers studying emotional development call this rupture avoidance, and it comes from a loving place, but it robs a child of something essential: practice. A calm kid isn't a kid who never feels frustration. A calm kid is a kid who has had enough safe, supported reps of feeling frustrated and coming back down, that their nervous system trusts the process. Every time you swoop in to prevent the feeling entirely, your child loses a rep. Over time, kids who are never allowed to sit with mild frustration, with support nearby but not rescue, become adults who spike hard at the first sign of discomfort because their system was never allowed to practice landing. The fix isn't to withhold comfort, it's to comfort without erasing the feeling. I'm right here. This is hard. You don't have to stop feeling it yet. That's how calm actually gets built, not by avoiding the storm, but by weathering small ones together, again and again. 1. Whether your own body is calm when theirs isn't. This is the one that ties everything else together. You can say every right sentence, use every gentle phrase, do everything by the book, and none of it will matter much if your own nervous system is tense, rushed, or anxious while you're saying it. Kids don't calibrate primarily off your words, they calibrate off your body. Researchers who study co-regulation describe this as the felt sense of the caregiver, the tone, breathing, posture, and tension a child picks up on beneath whatever is actually being said. A parent who says, "it's okay," in a tight, hurried voice is sending two conflicting signals at once, and a child's body almost always believes the tone over the words. This isn't about becoming a perfectly calm person all the time. Nobody is. It's about noticing your own state before you step in to help theirs. A single slow breath before you respond, a softened jaw, dropped shoulders, these tiny physical resets are often doing more to teach your child calm than anything you say. Kids borrow regulation from the nearest steady adult. Every time you find your own calm first, even for a few seconds, you're quietly lending them yours. So there you have it, 5 everyday moments that shape whether your child grows up calm or reactive. Most of them things every parent does without a second thought. None of this means you've been doing it wrong. It means these patterns are easy to miss, and just as easy to shift once you notice them. A calm kid isn't built in one conversation. It's built in 1,000 small, repeated moments, and every one of them is still available to you, starting today. If this video gave you something to think about, share it with another parent who could use it. And if you want to keep learning what's really shaping your child's inner world, subscribe, because we go deep on child psychology every single week.